Yo, what's going on? So I just wanted to make a little video to explore the edit on release setting that was introduced with Fortnite Chapter 2. The reason I wanted to make a video on it is because there's been a lot of talk about how there's a delay now when you edit that wasn't there before if you used a confirm button or even double edit binds. So basically I don't believe that there is a delay in the sense that it's something that Epic intended. And what I think is actually happening is basically down to the way a controller works. Now you'll see here. Firstly, I used to use L2 to confirm my edits, and I just basically want to quickly show you the speed of that. So when I edit a window, you can see here that I'm using L2. The edit happens instantly. So there is no delay there when I was using L2 to confirm my edits. But now that I'm using edit on release, there is a slight delay. Now, the reason I think that's there, let me show you with just the edit on release quickly. So you see there how after I press confirm, there's like a split second delay between it actually happening and me pressing the button and it actually happening. Now, the reason I think that's happening is if you look at an R2 button on a controller, it's a much longer button than any other button on the controller. So there's quite considerable amount of play between the top of the button and the bottom of the button. So what's happening now when you have it on the release on edit, at least for controller players, is the edit doesn't start until that R2 button is fully released. So when I push it down to there, that edit doesn't confirm until it gets right back to the top. So what you're actually seeing is not an edit in the delay, it's an edit from the R2 button being fully depressed to being fully back to its normal state, back to its normal position. So that's where I think the delay comes from, and there is one way you can counter that, which is going to take some relearning on muscle memory. Now the workaround I've sort of found for this is if you have your select edit to R2, try switching that to say R1 for select. Now the reason I say R1 is because R1's a normal sized button, much like the circle, square, X and triangle buttons. So there's not as much time for it to release. So we go back to, this is using the confirm button. You can still see it's instant. But if I stop using the confirm button and just use R1 here, you can see that even though it's not as quick as double edit binds, it's still a lot quicker than waiting for the R2 to fully depress, and I think that's where the delay is coming from. So basically my opinion on it is edit on release is actually a really good setting. I'm quite lucky. If you've got a scuff impact, what you can actually do, what I've done, is you can put the trigger stops to active. So that basically makes it so it's the same as having it on R1. So I still have it on R2. I just use the trigger stops, and that way my R2 is a smaller button than what it normally is on a PS4 controller. But if you're not lucky enough to have a scuff, then what I'd recommend trying is setting your select edit button to R1. And I think this should mitigate a lot of the delay that people are seeing around this issue. And I just wanted to explore it a little bit because I do really think that edit on release is a really quick setting. For example, I couldn't do that anywhere near as quickly before I had it on L2 to confirm, because it was just one extra input, one extra button to press. Whereas if you have it as one button, you can just fire through that really quickly. So I think edit on release is a really good setting. And if you've got a scuff, activate your trigger shifts. If you haven't got a scuff, maybe try setting your select edit button to maybe to R1. Anyway, I hope this video helps you guys. I do really believe it's a good setting, and thanks for checking out the video.